Hello, friends. So, this is going to be the first Fiber Arts Friday that we have done in a really long time, and we are so excited. My husband has encouraged me to dedicate Fridays to the Fiber Arts Room and just make sure that I'm getting in some of my fiber arts fix. It seems to be really good for my mental health, and who can blame me when you're talking, this being surrounded by that. So, I thought it would be really fun. Whoops. I thought it'd be really fun to do a Fiber Arts Friday YarnCast and then maybe record a Just Jenny Lee from the Fiber Arts Room as opposed to the art studio. So I don't know if I'll do this every single Friday. He would probably encourage me to. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to chit chat about, which seems probably crazy. If you've been following me, then you know we are hard at work cataloging all of my artwork and uploading it to the website so that I can get prints made and all of that sort of thing. So it has been a crazy week. I've spent days photographing my work and getting migraines and I don't know. So I have been encouraged to just go touch some grass, which in my world means yarn or fabric. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, let's get into it. I've got my tea poured and ready to go. And I thought it would be fun just to talk about what peripheral fiber arts projects I have going on in the margins. Because as you know, I am a passenger princess, which means I always have a crochet project going. And the current one that I've been working on is a little pattern design that I have been doing. What I'm calling the Calderwood cardigan. So this is the first little fiber arts project that I have going in the wings. It's not an emergency one. It's just going at my own pace. But if I ever wanted to do a pattern test before the spring is out, it's kind of a springish sweater. So I don't know. I could be actually running low on time for that, but that's okay. So let me just give you a little preview of where I'm at. I have basically the back panel done and it's a little bit longer. I wanted it to be like a cardigan, and then I have the first of the front panel done and I did some shaping, if you can see that, and I am nearly complete with the second panel. So that's pretty exciting. I didn't go very many places this week, so I didn't work on that a whole ton. But so then my church is putting on a really interesting, I guess performance is the best word I can use to describe it, on Good Friday. We're going to have like a wordless, it won't be musicless, so there will be sound, but there will be no talking on a Good Friday service, like drama presentation. Which I'm really excited to go to. It should be really fun. And I have a bunch of my friends that are actually in the production. I am not in the production, which is probably best because I have terrible stage fright. But I did offer to do some basic sewing. They said they need some people who can do basic sewing. So Sunday, I was gifted this super soft plush blanket that is a 66 by 90-inch blanket that I'm supposed to be making into a cape for like a bad guy figure, like a devil figure in this Good Friday production that is going to happen at church. So I have no idea how to go about that, but I'm going to do some research and find out. And so that's the second fiber arts related thing I need to do. The production is Good Friday, and I'm sure they want it for at least the dress rehearsal. So I kind of need to get to it and figure out how to make a black cape out of a big rectangle. So there's that. And then my friend, who I will call Wellstone Creations, because that's where you can find her on Instagram, and her website is wellstonecreations.com. She is the person who designed this earring that I'm wearing that I love so much. You'll see me wearing them all the time. It's my favorite pair, and it's the very first pair of crochet earrings I ever made. And it's kind of funny because you would think like the first pair you wouldn't like that much, but they're literally my favorite pair, and I wear them all the time. But anyways, she also is the genius behind the Calderwood stitch, which is what I'm using to design the cardigan. She just doesn't really like to do wearables, and I'm not really sure it would be like a pattern that I would necessarily like publish or anything. It's just something that I want because I love the way that it feels. But anyway, she designed another pattern because she's incredible like that, called the Little Hands Football, and posted a pattern test. And I just love working with her so much. She's such a fantastic individual, and I want to support her and what she's doing. So I have 2 weeks or something to that effect to test her little football, which I just thought would be really cute. There's a ton of little boys in our church, and I thought it would be fun to make a couple. So I rummaged through the yarn stash, and I thought it'd be fun to make like the football part blue, and maybe the like stitching and whatnot, the like lighter green color that has like the little flecks of the blue in it. So that is going to be that. So when Naomi was here, we had such an amazing time together. I enjoyed her company so much. She's just a blessing to me, and she's very creative in her own way. She doesn't like to think that, but she is. In fact, one of my favorite little things that she made back, I don't know, she was probably in middle school or maybe junior high, but anyways, is this fun little creature. And she told me it was a fox last time she came, but I use him as a pincushion, and I just love it so much. It's like so her. She thinks her art is ugly, and I think it's whimsical and fun, and everything she makes is definitely, like, you can see my influence in whatever she draws or creates, but she's just, in my opinion, more fun and less inhibited and less attached to outcomes. So her work, in my opinion, is the bomb. While she was here, she designed a little crochet graph pattern, which I helped her to test, and I just thought it turned out really cute. And it's simple, but I love how it's like this pixelated, old-fashioned, like if you used to play Super Mario Brothers, you know? So there was that we did. She wanted to learn how to do some sewing, so she was digging through my pattern stash, and she found this pattern, which I thought was super fun. You can see I got it really cheap for 99 cents. Can't pass that up, right? I don't get everything for free, but I usually get it for a bargain. I happen to have like this linen look-alike fabric. It's not linen because it's like a wrinkle-free type linen, but I had a whole bunch of it, and so we decided that we would make the skirt out of that. But we only had her technically really for 3 days, and one of those days was spent at Howe Caverns. So we only got so far in creating, in cutting out the pattern, and then we were doing some practice sewing, and we did some squares, and then I sort of wanted to help her create a drawstring bag out of the leftover fabric, just because she had never sewn before. I couldn't even remember what I was doing, so I ended up making a drawstring bag, a mini one for like crochet hooks or whatever. And now I've got 2 panels cut out waiting for her next visit. She's like, "Mom, don't make it without me." She's like, "I won't learn anything." So we've got it's all cut out. I've got the fusible interfacing or whatever you want to call it, and the elastic that I had already, amazingly. So we've got 2 like bags here just so she could get used to sewing, and she picked out, I had a scrap of this like white type tape stuff. Not tape, but this is fabric, but anyways, we're gonna use that for her handle, and then I was crocheting a handle for my bags. So that's kind of what we're making to practice sewing. So what I'm thinking of doing is creating my bag now and doing like a tutorial for it, and then she could basically have the tutorial to watch while I'm here, like explaining it to her. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm not the best at tutorials. Some people are just so wonderful with their production value. I don't have that. So anyways, her working on this pattern got me digging through my pattern stash as well. And I found this pattern, which I thought was super cute. I kind of basically got this for nearly free. We took out bags and bags of stuff for a donation at the county fair. I think we donated $20, but we took out so much stuff. I can barely say how much this cost, pennies maybe. So anyways, I decided that I would use a pile of napkins that I found on the side of the road to make the dress as a practice, because the fabric that I really liked, which was these two fabrics. This is kind of like a soft corduroy, and this is like a flannel. I thought that would be really cute for the studio and cleaning and stuff like that when we clean the church or whatever. The sizes on here, it didn't really tell me like what the measurements were. Well, it does, it on this tiny flap. I didn't see it till after, and I thought, well, I need to speculate and guess what size I need to make. And so what I ended up doing was grabbing this big pile of napkins that I got on the side of the road. Hang on, let me grab the pile. Even after I cut out all of the fabric that I would need to make the dress, this is how much I still have left. So, you know, people will buy these napkins for weddings and use them once, and the people who go to the weddings barely ever even touch them. And so most of them were just pristine, and I cut off the really thick kind of like seams around the edges, and I'm going to create like a patchwork type dress. But then as I was ironing these beautiful sage green pieces of fabric out, I looked down into the rack there because I was like looking down, and I saw this, and this was a valance that I got for free on the side of the road, and it's like a striped, a sage green and cream striped fabric. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I don't have to make the whole dress the green. I can do the bottom and the pockets in this like matching fabric. So that's what the plan is for this. So I think that is everything that I have right now going on in the fiber arts world, which is a lot. It is, but you know, I actually really like to stay busy. I'm not a person that likes to sit around. My husband likes to joke and say that the way that I rest from working is to work on something different, and that's true to a degree. But I used to have a saying that the people who do the most get the most done, because people would ask me all the time, how do you get so much done? And I would say, well, the people who do the most get the most done. And occasionally, I guess you could say, well, doesn't that lead to burnout? You know, it really doesn't for me. I feel joy and energy when I am like staying busy. I actually do try to go to great lengths to take care of myself, and my husband does too. I woke up today to fresh Parmesan crisps and a pot of tea because he's so kind. And I get my baths in every day, and I do my workout and my devotion time, my little Bible study, meditative prayer time. And honestly, I think that having a space from which to start my day and going into it with a lot of joy, and even if it is an ambitious day that I have a set ahead of for me, like it's all good because I know that I have purpose and I have peace and I feel fulfilled and I feel loved, and I want to share that love with the people around me. So if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you being here. I'm so grateful that you chose to stick it out for the first in a long time of a Fiber Arts Friday, and hope that we keep this tradition going. So I'll probably do a little bit of vlogging of like the whole process, and I'm not sure if I'll do it every Friday or every other Friday. It really depends. You know, life gets busy some weeks and I barely have time for art, let alone fiber art, but I will try to get at least 2 up a month if I can. And so if you want to join and be a part of my journey, I would love for you to like and subscribe and share and comment and all that cool stuff. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next video.